For lovers of the leaf, for lovers of the leaf, for lovers of the leaf. This is D-Love and wife, minus the wife right now. It is, I want to say 2:30 in the morning. Up, decided to smoke a cigar. I'm working night shift this week, so I'm trying to stay up a little bit during the night before I can fall asleep during the day to be well rested for when I come back in on night shift. So that's kind of how that works. Yeah, so just out here, smoking a La Polina, Goldie, Churchill, and sipping on a little bit of Armagnac. A little bit of a mess over here, but you know. But yeah, just up and about. It's been a little while since I made my last video. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but me and the wife are pregnant. So as far as being able to see, you know, my wife smoking cigars and hearing her input on cigars as of late, that's probably gonna be on the back burner for a little bit, you guys. But you know what? We're extremely happy. We're extremely excited. Yeah, I cannot wait for our baby to get here and for us to start this next chapter when it comes to building our life together. So let me hit the cigar one more time for the one more time. Hold on for a second. So yeah, man. Luckily, over the last few years though, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to try to cut back a little bit when it comes to cigars. Just until I see the cost of what having a child is going to be. I do have some leeway. I know my truck is about to get paid off, so that's going to be an additional almost $600 a month on that. So we'll see. I should have, if I cut back, it shouldn't be too much. But you got to create the budgets. You got to see what you can do and finagle. And most of my cigars is just play around money. Ooh, this is nice right now. I'm getting like a chocolate note. That's kind of weird. I don't think I picked that up before. Let me hit it one more time. It might be the pairing. Yes, sir. Haven't really dry boxed a cigar. Just kind of decided to pick it up, get it out the humidor. Could have used a little bit more dry boxing, or some dry boxing at all. But the burn line's not bad. Gotta have some moisture control to it. But I can tell that this one's giving me a little bit of tunneling, so I'm trying to like time on when I pull on the cigar a little bit more than normal. Just because it's that moisture will affect the draw, and if it affects the draw, it makes it a little bit tighter. And that alone starts causing that tunneling effect where that filler starts to separate from the wrapper. So if it gets too bad, I'm gonna set it down, let the cigar extinguish itself, and then relight. That's kind of how I handle the separation of the filler from the wrapper. But yeah, we are excited, you guys. We're gonna have to, I don't know if when we've had cigars coming in, haven't really been making videos of that kind of stuff. I have some cigars lined up for coming to the house, but they're kind of some of the same cigars that you guys have always seen. I kind of buy the same stuff these days, man. Like, I try cigars selectively as if I'm interested in them. You know what I mean? But what I'm probably gonna do until the kid gets here, until I know the cost, I'm probably gonna cut the cigar budget in half. And I'm probably just gonna be smoking these exclusively, just buying La Polina, buying what I know I like. Cutting back, I'm definitely gonna have to cut back on how much I smoke, just because time and having a little baby going around is, you know, how often you have to feed a child. Plus, I don't want to smell like smoke around my kids, so the amount of cigars I'm going to be smoking is going to be reduced drastically. So buying a box of these a month should hold me up for a while. Let me hit the cigar one time. Yes, sir. It's a little windy out here. The wind is kind of picking up. So I was kind of debating on what I wanted my next video to be, and I have this idea. It's not even really an idea. It's more so about, I believe, blenders need to have directions when it comes to their cigars. It needs to be a standard. It needs to be mandatory for every box that you put together, that you work on this blend, and that you release. Some things you need to handle like Cubans. They need to have a date in which you boxed them up, a date in which they were rolled, date in which you boxed them up. Cubans have like a little piece of paper on the inside of the box that tells you the correct humidity and temperature to store. I think non-Cubans need to start doing that, and they need to start putting together, compiling some data. You know, smoking their cigars, tracking the data on what is the best humidity for their cigar to be at, to be smoked well. You get what I'm saying? So, and I think about this kind of stuff because I'm a chemist myself. So for me, if I were to run this test and this analysis, if they were to give me a box of cigars, before each and every test or before each and every cigar, I would mark the temperature of the day, I mark the humidity outside, and then I would also test not only the foot of the cigar, but I would test the underneath the cap as well. And I would mark down what humidity the cigar is, and I would track that until I found like a sweet spot, one in which the cigar burns well as doesn't muddle any of the flavors. And once I find that sweet spot, I will write the instructions down on the piece of paper that's going to be inside of the box. So when your customer picks up the cigar and they smoke it, they know exactly what to do with the cigar. Even if you have someone that's not into cigars as much, they read the instructions, they know exactly, okay, cigar needs to be rested in a stable environment for 10 to 14 days. Okay, check. Okay, needs to be stored properly at this humidity. Okay, check. Before smoking, for best smoking experience, cigar needs to be this humidity at the foot, this humidity underneath the cap. This way you don't have any draw issues, any burn line issues, etc., etc. I think that needs to be a standard across the industry. It's going to keep people from, I mean, you got to understand, man, when we come out with a review on a cigar, let me hit this one time. You can kind of see that burn line's coming off, getting off a little bit. Let me hit this one time. When we make a review, not all the time are we taking, well, I do, but not everyone's not resting cigars. Everyone isn't checking the humidity of the cigars and controlling that humidity. So if there is a negative view about your cigar to someone, and to me, I don't really hate on someone's palate. I'll never sit back and say, if someone has a poor palate or not. But I will question if a cigar was stored properly, if someone did what they need to do when it comes to a cigar before they smoke it. And I know the importance of it. I've smoked a Basilica, not the Basilica A, but it was like the Maduro. And I remember about 2 years ago, I got like a little 5-pack to the house. and there were the small ones, kind of like a little petite-sized basilica or a gordito or something like that. I forget what it is. That might be a something that you pick up at Taco Bell. I might be wrong about that size, but but I remember getting one and smoking it and sitting back saying, "Nah, that ain't it, Chief." You know what I mean? This is not a good cigar. And then saying, "Okay, well, let me put the cigar back. Let me give it a little bit of rest time." Totally forget about it. 10 months to a year later, I'm sitting back saying, "What haven't I smoked in a while?" And I'm looking at that cigar. I'm like, "Oh, let me pull this out." And I smoke it, and the cigar is fantastic. So people need to understand the importance of rest when it comes to how they deal with cigars. If you're not resting your cigars, if you're not controlling the moisture of the cigar, these are all things that can cause you to have a bad experience, and one of those is how the cigar hits your palate. So I believe in order to keep these reviews more consistent and keep the cigar more consistent from person to person, you should have instructions in your cigar, in the box of cigars, or hell, even underneath like one of the bands or something like that, that tells you this information on the best, how to pull the best performance out of your cigar. And I think that that's going to cause people to gravitate towards those cigars more, because if they sit here and they see a review that's a bad review, and they're like, "Well, I followed the instructions. My cigar doesn't look like that. Why did theirs look like that?" That can counteract some of these bad reviews. I mean, if you get one person that has 400 views on one video, that's 400 people that's now on the fence about smoking that cigar. Not to mention all the people that they also interact with, and they're like, "Well, I want to get this one, but nah, so-and-so said this was a bad cigar." You get what I'm saying? So in order to really negate some of those negative reviews on certain cigars, I do believe that it's going to be important for you to actually put together, and this is all blenders, put together some more data and showcase when you should smoke the cigar and underneath what conditions. Don't smoke the cigar when it's raining. When the humidity is above this outside, don't do it. Smoke this cigar when the humidity is at the foot, between this range at the foot and between this range underneath the cap. If it's higher than that, then that could affect the performance of the cigar. These things need to be known 100% before people actually start smoking your cigar. And so I think that needs to be a staple across the board. It will allow more sales of your cigars. People entering cigars will have more of an understanding about what to do, instead of having to look and listen to every reviewer out there. I just think it makes everything simple. I'm gonna set the cigar down real quick. Yes, sir. Pick up some of this Armagnac. See my lip prints? Yeah. I really think that in the long run, that's going to save some of these businesses some more time. It's going to allow some of these cigars to have sales go through the roof. I think they need to pay for it, I'll be willing to do it. I'll put together a whole QA/QC program for you. But my cost isn't cheap. I got a few chemists lined up that could that could actually do this for not only just one brand, but for a multitude of them. Be able to save you guys some money. Do a compilation of data, send this out, and we'll also showcase, hey, after 1 month, after 2 months, half a year, when does the cigar have a peak performance? Now, I know you guys smoke and order and release cigars based off of, when you like the blend. But does the cigar get better? If you give it another year or two, does it get better? When does it peak out? All this stuff are things that people need to know. I mean, how long can I hold on to a cigar before the flavors themselves just totally peak out? And I'm wasting my money. You get what I'm saying? Smoke this cigar before 5 years. Like that kind of stuff needs to be a standard within the industry. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. Maybe it's something that's a dream of mine. It's a long shot and it will never come to fruition. Maybe that's something that maybe it's like a little pipe dream, but maybe it's not. You know what I mean? I think it's more than possible to do it. I think it's going to help sales at the end of the day. I mean, collecting data is never going to hurt any company, any business. And especially having this kind of information will never hurt any business. You need somebody to reach out to, hit me up. I got a degree and I got some people I will definitely take with me to start this thing up. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comment section about this idea. I hope you guys are enjoying your, I don't know what day is it Monday? Night shift totally messes you up. But I hope you guys are enjoying whatever day it is. Hope you're able to actually get to smoke a cigar and enjoy your time with a loved one. Get your mind right. Get some rest and relaxation. And yeah, man, just enjoy life. Enjoy life, enjoy the journey. And smoke great cigars while you're doing it. All right, you guys. D Love and Wife out.